this session at this moment. So yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, we're gonna start with the quote of the day. I shared this one many moons ago. That's May 8th this year, 2024. It goes, one of the not talked about elements of successful trading and investing, it is persistence. My goodness. Um, I'm just gonna read the quote. I'm in the caption to this because I don't know how to further explain this. Um, the best thing I can do is going back to the day when I posted it, what was going through my head. So it goes, mastering your edge takes pushing through the tough days when it seems hard to grasp the concept, failing to implement it, the drawdowns, etc. That is persistence. I've seen people throw their screens against the wall, their phones against the wall, get frustrated. That is the rite of passage. You have to go through that. But for you to get to the other side, to the point where you can say, now, that aha moment, you have to persist. You have to persist. And understand this. Why is it so difficult? Remember, you are expanding the limits of your brain, of your brain. Imagine an elastic band, right? You stretch it. When you stretch it to its limits, um, when it's about to break, that is the hardest, right? It's easy to stretch it to a certain length, but when it's about to break, just like when we are about to break into new territories, it's gonna be hard. So don't be like the other people who give up just when you're about to make it. Have seen so many people. Mandy saying this is in this session. I've been trading with him for, I think, over 7 years now with him. Personally, it's about 9 years. But we're still in this game. And if we can tell you how many people that we started with that are no longer trading, you'd be surprised. And they look like they were the masters of the game at the time. But when things got hard, they they couldn't push through. So you need to persist. You need to persist. Um, I think there's a quote that goes, success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. So I think one of the reasons we get so hard on ourselves when we fail, in quotes, in trading and in life in general, is that we look at the failure. And for me, the biggest thing, it is not whether you're failing or you're winning. It is whether, are you improving? Are you improving at that moment? Everyone fails, ladies and gentlemen. And I always say successful people are people who have failed over and over again and just kept going. Just do this for yourself, not for me, okay? Try to see what will happen if you do not give up. How many times have you given up? So many times. You already know the result of giving up, right? You have to start over again. And starting afresh is very hard. The best thing you can do is persist. Continue on the road, right? One of my favorite authors, Jocko Willings, a former US Marine commander, he says, if you're in the forest and you are lost, the best thing to do is to keep walking. You're in a forest and you're lost. The best thing to do is to keep walking. The worst thing that can happen is that you'll find that you are with the wrong way. And now you can turn back and move in the right direction. So just keep going, keep at it. It's gonna reveal itself with time. I'm hoping I'm gonna get a testimony of some day of you guys sharing how this was helpful, because uh, same thing happened to me. Like I kept going. I can't even count how many times I've failed, but I'm still here. And every day I'm more excited about the idea that I'm on the right path, not the result. Forget about the result, right? I'm just excited about the idea that I'm on the right path, because it is much better to be directionally correct than absolutely correct. I hope that was insightful. let us jump onto um, the economics, trading economics. Let's look at our headlines, being the BOJ, Bank of Japan, um, raising its policy raised by 0.25%, and they also tapered bond buying. So if you're not well versed with finance, this is gonna be, it's very confusing. What do they even mean? I'm going to have a session explaining interest rates, explaining consumer price index, which is inflation, explaining gross domestic product and all of that. But what I want you guys to understand about macroeconomic news or geopolitical events is that by the time they get released by these news events or these news platforms or channels, they have already been priced. And very importantly, people think the news control the markets. No, they influence a buyer or a seller. I'm going to say that again. News do not control or move the markets. They influence the decisions of buyers and sellers. God forbid, if South Africa gets hit by a nuclear bomb, or let's just say a normal bomb, um, like there were threats of such a thing in Sentin last year, I think right about around this time, stocks are going to fall. It is not because of the bomb, it's because people are selling because they no longer trust the security in that country, right? If something great happens in South Africa, maybe let's say there's an oil discovery, it's going to bring new industries, create jobs, obviously tax the companies that are going to be mining and all of that, industry development, manufacturing is going to be at its highest. That is good news for the country, and that will inform a buyer to buy the South African rand. News do not control the market. I go through them every day just to give you guys an idea so that when you see maybe the euro behaving in a certain way, you understand, oh, the way news on earnings on the euro. Um, uh, if the US dollar acts in a certain way, and then you know, oh, the Federal Reserve is anticipating to maintain the federal funds rate. Just have an idea. Otherwise, you cannot. Also, what my mentor told me is that you cannot be in every room where these big decisions are being made. Right. I hope that was insightful. Once again, let's look at Forex Factory calendar. Now we're looking at what news are going to come out at what time and potentially um, the impact of the news. So here's the BOJ policy. It is at 0.25%, better than a previous value, better than the consensus or the focus. So you can come here to this folder to understand what this news is about. Interest rates levied on excess current account balances. This is also jargon, gibberish. Let's try to understand it further. Usual effect, actual is greater than the forecast is good for the currency. Ooh, okay. So we might see the Japanese yen gaining strength against other cross pairs. You can go further with that. I do not have enough time to go through that. Right. Later on today, we have more news on PMI, home sales, Federal Reserve rate later on, FOMC statement, FOMC press conference. This is press conference is one of the most dangerous news events because you do not know whether the speech by the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell or whoever is going to be speaking is going to be more dovish or more hawkish, right? We do not know that. But what the trader in his bedroom, the trader in Wall Street, the market maker, the broker, what they have in common is the chart. Just focus on that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's jump onto the chart. Obviously, we're going to start with our normal dollar index. The dollar index, you remember, guys, when I said I really can't trade here. I really can't. I'm still waiting for 105. I'm not gonna move this piece of analysis. I'm still waiting for 105 for me to make sound decisions here. However, we have Let me check the watch list once again. We have USDCAD. Let us look at USDCAD. We're going to analyze it in exactly the way we normally analyze the other pairs. I'm sorry, just a second. I need to connect my keyboard. Am I making sense, ladies and gents? I'm trying to simplify this thing for you. I'll be honest with you. Trading is not that hard. We've just been misled. I was misled as well for a long time. Also, I want to take responsibility for that. I was the one who kept going from strategy to strategy. And it's funny thing is, I was taught supply and demand at the beginning. But what happened? I met some friends and they would tell me, hey, this is the strategy, there's this ICT, there's this harmonic wave, there's this Elliott wave, there's Ichimoku, there's, hey, I've gone through so many strategies. Some of you guys are wondering, how am I able to help someone who's trading patterns, harmonic waves, and all of it? It's because I've been through all of that. Does it work? I think it depends on the trader. But what has worked for me consistently is supply and demand. Why? Because it is consistent with the rules of the market, so to speak. All right, let's go through this quickly. So we are bullish on a monthly. We're bullish on a weekly as well. Things are looking good here. We might be bearish on them. Yes, we might be bearish. So, but we have the monthly and the weekly in agreement. So high time frame, I would like to go with that. With that said, it is hard to see where the market is potentially going at this point. But I think maybe somewhere here, this is experience now. This experience now. I can't even explain how I see that. It's just that from back testing, I've seen this thing happen over and over again. Let's check on a 4-hour time frame. Check what's happening on a 4-hour time frame. Yep, we have a quite an interesting area here. So this was the last demand area that we had. Let's go to a 2-hour time frame. Perfect. So I'm waiting for it to come. Why this particular area? You're asking yourself. So we saw the market coming down here, or sellers coming in. So they met some buyers. The market pushed up, but you look at the size of the candlesticks. They weren't that big, meaning there wasn't a big player involved. And then boom, look at this guy. This is a sign that someone is involved here. If you're trading SMC, you would be like, okay, we have a break of structure here, right? For me, SMC is the introductory course on our programs. Break of structure. What caused the break of structure? Is this here? Okay, this order block here. That's the language SMC traders use. For me, is involvement of a big player. So USDCAD, we can anticipate to see it pushing up from here. To what level? Personally, I was looking at 1.388, but that's from a monthly time frame once again. Let us look at the potential risk reward ratio. Language once again, potential risk reward ratio. And so you hear people saying the market has to do this. I know. Some people go to the extent of saying, I know. Stop loss above the region, and you can target these highs. You can get yourself a nice 1:5. You don't need to shoot for the fences, ladies and gentlemen. This is good enough. Imagine taking 2 1:5s and you make 5% of $100,000 funded account. That's good money. I don't care where you live in any part of the world. That is a lot of money. So that's you just have to simplify this thing. So many of us get into it for the reason of freedom, but we end up being slaves. Also, when you look at this, SMC guys, this is imbalance. This is liquidity. For me, this is fair value where everyone is trading. I want to trade below that, right? If if we move past this zone, I'll be looking for an area below that, somewhere here, below the fair value, right? I think there's a message. Manzo says yes. Okay, great. So I hope you guys can see that. Maybe let me put it on a 30 minutes to look much more nicer so that you can see. Look at how price left the area. I'm giving you guys secrets for free. No wonder some people are saying they've made their first withdrawals after 3 years. Look at how price left the area. Very important. Liquidity. So sweep the liquidity, tap into that area, and then boom. There's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping I'm definitely going to share this one on the group as well, for the benefit of those that are not in the session. Euro GBP, I think this is still from last week. My sentiments haven't changed. I'm still expecting to come down here. Once again, fair value. For those that trade SMC, once again, this is liquidity, right? SMC ICT, guys. This is liquidity. Let's wait for the liquidity sweep. For those that are trading chart patterns, guys, this is a bearish flag. So we need to break and retest. I don't trade that. I'm just waiting to buy. Why buy? Because everyone is selling. If I'm selling as well, who am I selling to? Imagine yourself going into a market and you find that everyone is selling. Go to the bank and get a loan so that you become a buyer. And you're going to sell to them at a higher price. It's logic. It is pure logic. We do not have to complicate this thing, right? Now let's look at the FTSE or UK 100. UK 100. I trade all markets. That's the power of supply and demand. It will enable you to trade all markets with ease. Let me see. I'm trying to find the monthly time frame. There we go. Monthly time frame on the FTSE, it's bullish. UK 100, top 100 companies from the United Kingdom. Yep, we're still bullish. On a weekly, let's check on a daily, we are bullish as well. So for me, I would love to see the FTSE coming down to this area here. Big player came in here. Big player came in here, and it looks like there's a high chance that we will challenge 8,484, right around that region. It looks like we're going to challenge those highs. So let's step down to smaller time frames. So when you see me post a 15-minute time frame, do not think I trade a 15-minute time frame. I trade a 15-minute, I trade a monthly time frame on a 15-minute time frame. SMC guys, what do you see? Break of structure. Okay. So this is a nice demand level. However, there's also this one. I would really love this one more because it would give a nice risk to reward ratio. Okay. Let's step down to 2 hours anyways. Step down to 2 hours. I would be looking to have this as my region, right? After this consolidation, then the big player came in here. Let me remove that because it will confuse me. I just depend on supply and demand. And then now, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for the market maybe go further up, then push down. And then we can buy at this region. Question would be why can't we buy now? Clearly this market is going up. This is how convention fools you guys. I'm sorry to say. This is how conventional materials say. Wait for the company to have a good CEO, a good balance sheet. What do you think the price is when you hear those things or when those things get released? It's already high, and it is not advisable to buy at premium prices. You only sell at premium prices. For you to buy, you need to buy at discounted prices. Okay. So wait for the market to come back here. I hope that makes sense, ladies and gents. So if you're gonna trade this one, maybe I can put my stop loss there. Um, as long as I get a 1:5, I'm happy. You can squeeze things, probably move it to a 1:8, 1:7. It is up to you. I hope that makes sense. Let us look at gold. Let's look at gold. Who's trading gold? Might have some analysis on this already. Let me check. Oh yeah, for sure. Gold is already reacting accordingly. So we're anticipating to buy here, but obviously it started at that demand area. So this is, I don't remove this for the purpose of showing you guys that we are building on what we've been looking at previously. However, personally, I do not strongly believe in this region. My ideal one would be around 24,060. So this would be my ideal one. So whenever, write this down. Whenever in doubt, do not do it. This is not just trading advice, this is life advice. Right? Someone would be saying, oh, you could be a couple of pips in profit already. No, I'm not sure about this. You know, it's very painful when we now go through the review of the trade and you're like, I should have done this. I should have stuck to the plan. This is not how I trade. This is short-term trading, and I'm not a short-term trader. I'm more of a long-term trader. Okay. And that would mean me waiting for it to get there or come back here to the area of 23,000, sorry, 2,335, 330, somewhere there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I think there's a question. Someone says, please check EuroCAD. EuroCAD is definitely under my watch list. I'll go through that, my brother. Let us go through the watch list first. So last thing, let us check Apple stock. Apple stock. We have less than 10 minutes. Let's check Apple stock listed on the NASDAQ. Supply and demand. I'm just trying to show you guys that this method that I trade works with every market. You know how people would say, no, you need a different strategy for NASDAQ. You need a different strategy for this. Not me. I trade everything the same way. So bullish on the NASDAQ, sorry, on Apple on a monthly, but on a weekly, definitely. Oops, that's a 1 minute. On a weekly, we're definitely bearish. Oh, looks like we're bullish as well. So good. Might be bullish on a daily as well. Let's see. Fantastic. So with Apple, where are we coming from? If you want to buy this on a short term, we're coming from this demand level, as you guys can see. Is there another potential entry? I'll target this highs, especially this gap right here of $231.5 per share. Let's see if there are any opportunities on lower time frames to still catch the trend. Okay, let's see. Right, as you can see, so this might have fooled us. This is fair value. Always avoid this because someone who's trading patterns here is gonna sell, and most retail traders are going to sell. And where is price really going to turn, supply and demand wise? An area of imbalance, that is this right here. If you are not profitable by the end of the year from these free sessions, I cannot help you anymore. Okay, you see the gap that I'm talking about? That is Apple. Apple. I think I'm gonna screenshot this one and send it to Instagram. I have some stock traders over there, right? This one. Fantastic. All right, I'm gonna share with you guys on the group as well. All right. We have like 5 minutes of the recording, but we can have questions after that. I always record 30 minutes EuroCAD. Give me about the typos. I use a Bluetooth mouse sometimes. Sorry, Bluetooth keyboard. Sometimes it gives me problems. Okay. On a monthly EuroCAD, we are bullish. Let's see what's happening on a weekly. Always follow the trend, bearish on a weekly, so there's contradiction there. But we're gonna follow the higher time frame, just for the sake of example. Otherwise, on any day, these are the trades that I avoid. The daily is gonna be bearish as well, so we're gonna follow the higher time frame, which is the daily. So for me, clearly, there's this base rally here, of which we did tap into. This is more of what do you call it, a fair value or ranging markets, which I do not trade, once again, ladies and gentlemen. So let me step down to a lower time frame. Let's check on a 4-hour. What do we have? Looks like that zone of mine looks really nice. Going lower again. It looks like we did tap into that zone. Some would argue that there's a potential of the market coming back. Look at that imbalance coming back to the zone. Yeah, I think so too. Step down to see things clear. Why am I going down with these time frames? Down with the time frame. This is like doing knee surgery. A doctor doing knee surgery. So what you're basically doing is you're looking at the x-ray before you do the surgery from different angles for you to get a clear picture and probably a clear diagnosis of your patient. This would be forcing it. Yeah. EuroCAD, I hope this is hopeful, Mazwi. We'll push like that. So less than 4 minutes. Thank you so much, ladies and gents. If you have questions, I can still ask questions. Mandy says, just to comment on your opening remarks about progress. You only realize you've been growing the day everything snaps into place. Fantastic. Exactly. So the reason people quit is because they don't see the results immediately and are frustrated by gradual progress. Absolutely. You're not failing. You're just getting successful slowly. Thank you so much for that comment, Mandisi. Thank you so much. It is exactly what I meant. And who understands this better than someone I've been trading over the past 7 years with? We've had our own fair share of failures. Someday I'm hoping we're gonna talk about them. But they've made us who we are to stay in this market for so long. And Mandisi is one of the people that I respect as far as experience is concerned, as far as his resilience in the market. He would sometimes motivate me. The importance of having an accountability partner, ladies and gentlemen, is this person who's gonna call you from time to time and ask you, hey, have you analyzed this? Even if you were just down on that day, you'll be like, hey, one of my friends is at it. What am I complaining about? Let me open the charts and analyze as well. Let me backtest as well. Let me read this as well. So it's someone that I'm really grateful for over the years. More than that, the advice, because I'm a bit younger than him, and he has seen. But there's a saying in Swati that goes, "Indlela ibutwa kulaba phambili." You can only get to know about where you're going from those who've already walked that path. So those are the right people to ask, and loosely translated. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping we are going to have, and we're doing this for free, by the way. This is just to show you where our money is. It's not from the courses. Yes, I do offer a program, not a course. There's a difference. A program, the Wall Street Professional Trader program, that takes you through understanding the markets, how to break down the markets, how to understand buyers and sellers, risk management, which is our